Hi there, so here we go with the next lesson. As we talked about in the last video, what I'm going to be doing in the rest of these videos now is sort of setting up what it is that we're going to be looking at in step 2. All right, so you can make the decision whether you want to move on with step 2 or not. Now, obviously, this first step, this first level is totally free. All you had to do was leave your email address. The second step I am going to tell you now does have a cost, okay? It's £97 to get to the next step. But I do plan on showing you in the last few videos where you can get the money from to be able to pay for the next step, because this is one of the ideas of this program, is that it's not like I'm charging you a ton of money to show you stuff. I'm going to show you stuff, show you how to get the money, then ask you for the money for the next level, you see. And I think that's fair enough, because, you know, if you're looking to get on the road to financial freedom, it's probably because you don't have much financial freedom right now. Yeah, so I think it's only fair that I show you the steps in the way that it's not gonna put you out of pocket. Yeah, because all the information of all the steps that I'm going to show you are worth a lot of money, because they show you how to make a lot of money. But I can't ask you for that to begin with, because you probably don't have it. So the next few videos are going to be leading up to what we're going to be doing in step 2, and step 2 is going to actually be how to put it into practice, okay? But what we're going to be looking at now in the last few videos is how we can change our economic system as a people, and how we can take it out of the hands of the bankers. And all it is a re-education of what we've been taught. Now, in school, we are taught to be consumers. I mean, you look at the television, and all there are adverts to buy. You know, we're taught to be consumers, whether it's cars, whether it's perfume, whether it's anything, you know. We're taught in school, go out and work to earn money, to consume. Okay, you know, in school, you're not taught really to sort of get, you know, bring yourself out. The idea of schooling is just to teach every single child on the planet the same things, and just churn out this big bunch of, you know, this big load of sheep that all think the same way, that all learnt the same stuff, that are all going out into the world to just work, earn money and consume. All right, so we're taught to consume. I mean, all of our technology nowadays, it's like a new phone this year, a new phone the next year, a new phone, you just throw it away and get the new one and consume and consume and consume. The problem with being consumers is that, you know, we're constantly just spending money. You know, when you buy a mobile phone for £1,000, for example, and then when the next one comes out at 1,200, and you just throw that first one away, you might as well just take that £1,000 and throw it down the toilet, because that's what you've done. You know, you've consumed, you've used, and you've consumed, and you see that in the human species. I mean, we're getting fatter and fatter and fatter, because all we do is consume and consume and consume. We spend all our energy consuming, and I understand it, because I mean the whole sort of sleep work cycle is crap. You know, if you're like me, when I was working in the hospitality trade, all I ever did was go to work and go to sleep. That was all I ever did, and that's the reason I wanted to get out of that, because, you know, I didn't have time for anything else. I had a bit of money, but no time, because when I had the time off, I was knackered and I just wanted to go to sleep, or I had to catch up on the washing or the house cleaning or whatever, you know. So it's just crap, isn't it, the way the system's set up at the minute. So we need to change the mindset from being consumers to becoming creators. Now, what does a consumer do? A consumer goes out and uses their physical talent to perform a job in exchange for money that they can then use to go out and consume stuff. Yeah, that's what a consumer does. Now, what does a creator do? A creator makes things. Makes things of value. Now, what we're shown in our consumerist society is that we don't have to make anything. We just have to go out to work, do some menial task, get some money, and then we've got this money that we can go out and buy stuff. You don't have to make anything. The problem with that is, as we've talked about before, is that our economy is structured like this. And here's the 1% who own all of these corporations. And we down here just send money up to them. Because when you think about it, you know, all the petrol companies, they're all owned by the bankers at the end of the day. All these multinational corporations, all these multinational companies, Starbucks, Costa, you know, H&M, all of the big sort of retail names, at the end of the day, they're all massive corporations that are just getting us to consume so they can become richer. And that's what we're taught to do. Now, we're not taught to make things of value. Now, let's say, for example, you know, imagine that we had a schooling system where a child that shows interest in carpentry, for example, is taught how to be a carpenter, and then they can go and make tables and chairs that have value, that are pumped back into the system. You know, you are taught to make things, and you make things of value and put them into the system. The value of the system goes up, therefore we can print more money because there's more value in the system. You see how being a creator, remember in other videos we've talked about having a value-based economy. Well, to have a value-based economy, you need to have things of value pumped into it that don't remove. I mean, this has value pumped into it, but the value is pumped in by the bankers and then taken out by the bankers. So, you know, it's all for them. Whereas if we become creative, if we take back our creativity and start making things and putting things of value into the system, then we can maintain our own economic system without talking to the bankers, because we will maintain the value of the system and we will move the money around the system without the bankers sucking it all up for themselves. But of course, to become a creator, we need to change our education system. Because if all we're doing is teaching all of the children all the same things, so we just throw out this big flock of sheep at the end of the day, we need to look at our children and find out what makes them tick. I mean, my 22-month-old at the minute, well, he's 23 now, 23 months old. He loves going out into nature and walking and climbing up stuff. I mean, he doesn't like sitting down and drawing on pieces of paper. So I don't make him sit down and draw on pieces of paper. I encourage him to do what it is that he enjoys doing. Now, the circular economy that I propose, you know, like based on the water cycle, a value-based economy, if we don't have to spend our time going out to work to earn money to consume, and we spend our time, if you know, on our value-based economy, and if it's a life-based economy, we can just, you know, as I've talked about before, if you need money, you ask for, you know, you use it. But provided it all gets spent and goes back in, you know, there's an unlimited cycle of money. If we can actually spend time with our children when they're young, instead of having to farm them out to school to be lied to by the bankers while we're out working, earning money, which the bankers are making us go out and do. If we have a system where you can earn money by bringing value into the system, by making things, then we don't have to send our kids to school, because they can stay with us and they can learn from us, and we can educate them and we can see what makes them tick, and we can encourage them to do that. So let's say, for example, my 23-month-old, he keeps, you know, showing an interest in outdoors stuff, and let's say he gets into climbing. Well, I can encourage him encouragement to chase the dream, to chase his dream, to chase dreams. All right, so that he learns to do something that he enjoys. Now, then he can teach other people how to climb if that's where he wants to go, and he can bring the value of the system up. But because he's spent his childhood doing what he should do, which is discovering the world and finding out what makes him tick. You see, when we've got the education system that we've got right now, and we're just bringing out consumers, we're bringing out mindless people who don't know what they want, but just they're told that what they need is a bigger car and a bigger house, and they're being told to consume and consume and consume and not think. Whereas if we change our education system to encourage our children to become creative, to shine, to use their inherent abilities. Now, this is something I believe, that every single human being has an inherent ability and a skill and a love that they are meant to share with the world. And if we have a creative-based education system where our children can test and try out and play when they're young to find out what it is they love, then we're going to have a generation of adults that are much more stable of mind because they're doing what they love. Now imagine that you had that kind of education system when you were little. You were encouraged to chase your dreams as opposed to, no, what you need to do is go out and get a job and earn money. Forget about your pipe dream. Forget about what you want to do. Earn money. No. What do you enjoy doing? Right, I will encourage it. Let's do it. Let's go for it. I mean, I'm not going to get into this story. It's about my ex-wife, so I'll leave it. But it's like we need to encourage people to be creative, to bring value into the system. So that not only do we change the economic system, get rid of the bankers, make it a circular system, we need to become creative. And what we're going to do in level 2 is I'm going to show you how to bring out that internal creator that's inside you. Because you as a person, our schooling system, all it does is limit your beliefs that you are only fit to be a worker. And now being creative, I used to think being creative meant drawing and singing and dancing, all of which I'm crap at. But it's not. I mean, I'm being creative right now in doing this course. I am creating something of value that I'm bringing out into the world, you see. So not all creativity is the same. Not all creativity is art. You see, science is creative. I mean, investigative science, somebody who's looking to find free energy, which I don't think is impossible, especially when you examine how the universe works. It's all harmonic and vibration, So if inherently things are in vibration, all you have to do is capture that vibration and turn that into energy, and that's free energy. But somebody needs to spend time doing it. Someone needs to be shown how to be creative. To look for those things. You see, this system, a consumer system, it dumbs down humanity and it keeps us controlled and like sheep. Whereas a creative system frees us, it just frees our mind to do what we want to do, when we want to do it, and how we want to do it, and advance humanity as a species. I mean, just think, if we weren't limited, if you didn't have to be in school for 16 years learning crap, and you had those 16 years to explore who you are and what it is you want to do and help solve problems in the world, then the world would be a totally different place. So in stage 2, in step 2, what we're going to look at is how to bring out that creativity in you so that you can start bringing value into the world and earn money because of the value you're bringing in. All right. So I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.